Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy PrimeTimePat. I'm here with another video. Y'all see the title. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Yeah, before we start this, guys, I just want to say a little thing about what's going on with these people cheating and people having babies from other people and not saying nothing and having unprotected sex. And also the hospitals too. They playing games. You never know what they're doing behind closed doors, switching babies and stuff like that. But yeah, I think tests should be mandatory for the man and woman. Just because you don't know what the hospitals are doing these days, they're all into shady stuff. But yeah, if anybody, I don't care if it's your wife, girlfriend, whoever, if they have a problem, get a mandatory test, a DNA test. There's an issue, big issue you need to figure out. But let's go ahead and watch this video. This was with MTR. He's a good YouTuber. I like some of his stuff. Go ahead. I'm gonna put his full link of the video in the description, and let's go through it.
The United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid.
The DNA test results show that Mr. Smith, you are not Monica's father.
One of the scariest situations that a man may need to deal with within his life is the possibility that the child that they are raising is not biologically theirs. DNA Diagnostics Center reports that 30% of men who take a DNA test are not the father. So one may ask, why is DNA testing not required at birth? We're gonna explore this topic in the forthcoming conversation because inevitably, you do not want to be in a situation where you will be the person wasting not only your hard-earned money, but also pouring your heart and soul into a child that may turn out not being yours.
Guys, imagine with these females that don't want to go 50-50. Don't want to do it. Don't want to do everything. You have to pay for everything. And you end up marrying this woman or having a kid with this woman. And this whole time, somebody else was knocking it down. And later on, you find out because somebody gets sick. You never know. You guys got to get your blood drawn. And you were sitting there trusting somebody that they weren't stepping out behind your back. And then you built a bond with this child. And to only find out it's not even yours in the first place. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm out of there. I don't care. And you need to pay me back my bread. That is ridiculous. That's why I say watch out with these females that got these ridiculous demands and talking all this nonsense. They very shiesty out here, man.
That's why it's so important for us to educate ourselves on what we need to do to have a clean conscience. And speaking of a clean conscience, you guys need to invest into a clean and healthy body. Shout out to today's sponsor, Mando. Now, what's Mando? Mando is a company that specializes in fighting body odor, no matter where it's at. I'm talking your armpits, your package, your feet, up to your butt crack, anywhere where funk accumulates. And they do this with deodorants, wipes, as well as body washes that's clinically proven to block odor all day and keeps control of odor for 72 hours. Now they sent me over the starter pack, which includes a cleansing bar, which is pH optimized, all right? Bar soap is generally not optimized, by the way. Stick deodorant, and again, offering that 72 hour of odor control. And I got that bourbon leather flavor, all right? Smells good. Smells like masculinity and precision. The Odor Shield body wash, and finally some cleansing wipes. Now I ended up putting these in the car for on the go. Now Mando was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal body. New customers get $5 off of the. Let's go ahead and listen to this conversation between the Daily Wrap-Up crew and an attorney about how we can avoid this very situation.
I see something that, men seem to be really trying to get past is mandatory DNA testing on childbirth and things of that nature. Do you think that should be something that should be taken into consideration?
Mandatory DNA testing?
Yeah.
Are you saying that you think it should happen or?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I believe for sure. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm asking you as a, somebody who
that protects the man and the woman. We ain't got to play no games. I ain't got to be.
Because I'll give you an example. Drew always tells me these stories about, men having to pay child support for a child that's not biologically theirs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can you even explain that process as well? Because we hear these stories and we like, yo, that's kind of
if you miss your court date and you had a court date you had to arrive to court and you missed the court date, you are now responsible for that child.
So so it's not that cut and dry because you still got to put in an order and you could still speak to judge, try and get new hearing day. You explain if you had
Amazing helps Anthony through night classes. Amazing starts at CSL Plasma. Donate plasma.
You trying to get a new hearing date on a ticket, it's still a problem. So
it still is. However, comparing that to a child support order is like, that's completely that's heavy, right? Like, I'm not saying traffic ticket isn't, but child support order, that's binding for a very long time, right? Unless there's a termination. So missing a single hearing is not going to, it will reflect poorly on you, right? That doesn't mean that they can't still go and move forward in your absence, but I don't see that often. A lot of times if a party misses a court date and it was involuntary, a lot of times the court, especially if they're like pro se, even if they're not, the court is, I don't want to say they're lenient, but the court system is not out to quote unquote get you as it relates to child support. For mandatory DNA testing, I believe in it. I think you should do it. I think it saves a lot of time. A lot of time, a lot of emotions. I can't put into words how crazy it is to have a conversation with someone who has found out that a child is not there. And I'll tell you guys, sometimes the party will find out in the craziest way. They'll get in an argument, a bad argument. Mom says, that's why the kid's not yours.
Disrespectful. Imagine, bro. Imagine.
And you're like, whoa. Like,
some men are doing prison time for child support that kids is
whoa.
not theirs.
You're like, whoa, you know what I mean? And so the thing about that's tough is it's like, so this argument was what took you to tell me that? Like, you couldn't tell me that before?
You knew this the whole time.
Yeah, and I think that's a very crazy situation. Right? Because now you've affected 3 lives.
Yeah.
Well, if it provides one kid, right?
Yeah.
The child, the mom, and dad. You have nurture.
This is why I don't get into it with women, bro. I don't care what you gotta say. All that, man need to be a provider, this and that. Or he's a cheater and this and that, and you out here doing shicey shit. Making a man stick around with children that's thinking the children is his. You know how evil you gotta be to do something like that? It's one thing you come in a relationship, you already got a child. I know off rip it ain't my child. I have a choice, but you're not even giving me a choice. Because you on top of that, you're making me build a bond with a child that I believe is mine. And then you put me in a very bad situation if something goes wrong, if I find something out like that. And then some of y'all have the nerve to say, oh, damn, you already got a bond. Why are you just going to skip out on us and this and that?
Nurtured, supported, raised a child as yours, and to find out that it's not, like, that is gut-wrenching. Like, that's a tough conversation.
Not only is it gut-wrenching, but it has the opportunity to completely destroy a man's mental space. But let's watch this clip here of this exactly happening.
Do you hope the child is yours?
Yes. We've been taking care of this child since the day he came out, Joe.
I love him.
I just want my son to be sure that this is his child.
Quanell Milan, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Jones, you are not the father.
Evil.
I didn't know.
You don't know how to act. Understand?
You okay, Mr. Jones?
No, he's not okay.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, break free, man.
I'm sorry.
Just
No
evil,
DNA
man.
testing at birth allows these situations to occur. And I feel for this young man. All he can do is grit his teeth in visceral reaction. At least he has a support system there that can help him through a time like this. But that's real right there.
There be any legal ramifications?
Stuff like that would make people crash out. And what he's talking about right now, before they even give their answer, yeah, it should be. Oh, whatever that man had to pay out of his pocket or whatever, give it all back. You women are evil, man. Some of y'all, that's evil.
It's for something like that.
You know, as far as what, like getting the money back for the years.
I don't know what it could be, but
You need that?
I need my money back.
do you think that there should be, because this goes to another situation which is totally off topic, but when we have women who, some women who have accused men of, horrible things, right? And they go to jail for that, and just years later, like, you know what, I lied, and just a slap on her wrist. Not to compare those two, because obviously they're two different situations, but in a situation where a woman knew, and you could prove that she knew that the child wasn't his, do you think she should serve some type of ramification?
Absolutely.
I don't know what it could be.
Oh, yeah.
Back pay.
It's you could
Fraud.
try and sue her civilly. You could try and sue her, but like if you try and do that, right? How do you quantify however many years? All
Yeah,
of the
everything
receipts,
on
right?
your
Like,
debit
It's
card,
a
bro.
lady that
Like,
wrote a book and they made it into a movie. I can't remember the movie, but her accuser just got released out of prison, and all she said was,
and
I'm sorry.
Yes.
The Lovely
And
Bones.
What is it called?
The Lovely Bones.
Yes. Yes.
boy, I want to get my sister to knock her
I-
lovely bones. This man went to jail for years.
Listen,
Crazy.
I
That's
think
tough.
It made millions.
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was insane, because like you basically ruined that man's life.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Blatantly.
you
And
it was
knew it.
right. And it was just, I'm sorry. No, that's not like,
No.
I'm sorry doesn't change that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, mandatory DNA testing, I agree. I think it should happen.
Criminal charges can be brought on someone for fraud. This is paternity fraud. It needs its own statute within the law. In the case of actual fraud, you can't use a defense of, oh, I just didn't know, to get up out of that. Oh, no. You didn't know that at least more than one person was deep inside of you within the small window of a week or so where you could have gotten pregnant?
5 to 30% of the general population, men are raising and paying for children that are not theirs and don't know. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, between 25 and 30% of the males who are accused of being the father, they take a paternity test and find out they did not do it.
Are you for mandatory DNA testing at birth?
I am absolutely on record as saying that if we want to prevent the problem of having men challenge paternity later down the road, is then let's apply a proactive solution. Automatic DNA testing at birth would work to help two things. One, we would assure that the right parents were named on the birth certificate. Two, it would stop paternity fraud and take the profit out of paternity fraud.
But so many women's groups say this wouldn't be fair. You're acting like you don't trust the mother. Why do you think they say that?
It's a red herring. It takes away from the focus of, well, who's the one person who has all of the information about potential fathers or the paternity candidates? It is the child's mother. And currently, in most places, she has no duty to disclose that, well, wait a minute. Well, my husband's not really my child's father. My boyfriend is. Like, well, wait, lady. But you're married. 30%.
There you go, guys. Y'all be safe out there, man. It is dangerous, bro. You don't know who's stepping out. These women are letting other men nut in them, and then you at the same time. So you think that you're the father because it was at the same time. They're very sneaky. Don't ever say, don't ever let somebody say, oh, you don't trust me. Don't ever fall for that line. Put it this way, don't trust anybody. Do not trust anybody. Somebody say that, I just tell them I don't trust anybody. So they don't feel like they're singled out. No, I don't trust anybody. I trust you to be you. And we'll go from there. But yeah, y'all leave it in the comments what y'all think about mandatory fraternity tests. I think it's needed. We'll really find out if people are sneaky out here or not. That's ridiculous, man. But yeah, it's your boy PrimeTimePat, man. Y'all stay. God bless. Y'all stay prayed up. Go ahead and subscribe. Watch my other videos. Thanks, guys.